And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, folks. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big old Friday, which means we have to update our NBA power rankings. I think this is the fourth time this season. Every Friday for the NBA season, that's when we kind of rearrange our power rankings. Who has impressed us in the last week? We do have a new number one, folks. Let the sirens go off. The 76ers will no longer be the number one seed, unfortunately. They had a nice little 2-week run there at number one. So shout out to them. And I think we have, two new additions? So 2 new teams coming in, 2 teams falling out. So that's what we got today on the show. And yeah, obviously breaking down the NBA from last night. And we've got some good stories to talk about. So let's just jump right into them. A good Friday, feeling good, some good fun stories to talk about. So let's get right into it. Here we go. Well, the biggest news of the day is that the Texans are releasing J.J. Watt. Crazy, right? At least the Texans organization is finally doing something right. I mean, this organization is just a dumpster fire at this point. I think we can all agree on that. So, releasing their best player, their star player, J.J. Watt, is probably the best thing that you could do as a franchise. They're not trading him. They easily could have traded him and got a decent pick. They probably could have got, probably not a first-round pick because he is a little bit older, but he could have definitely probably got a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick if they wanted to trade him. But they kind of do the right thing here. We're going to release you. You can go wherever you want. You've done enough. You've done enough for this franchise, and we thank you for that. So we're just releasing you. So finally, the Texans do something great. And I would say that this is kind of a little preview that they would go and probably they're obviously not going to release Deshaun Watson, but I do think the Texans are now probably going to be up to trade Deshaun Watson. If you're getting rid of J.J. Watt on the defensive end of the ball, which is your best defensive piece, I mean, why are you going to keep your best offensive piece? It seems like they are going to kind of go for a total rebuild. I mean, we saw the president resign. We saw, Bill O'Brien before he got fired this season, getting rid of all their players. They get rid of J.J. Watt now. I just think it just makes sense now that they do trade Deshaun Watson, build that equity for their upcoming rebuild, that they are showing that they are interested in a complete rebuild now that they trade J.J. Watt. So expect a Deshaun Watson trade any minute. Not any minute, but definitely, he will get traded. I would probably put a lot of money down if you could that Deshaun Watson will not be a Texan next year because, J.J. Watt, I don't see any reason why you would throw away J.J. Watt but then keep Deshaun Watson. I don't think that really makes that much sense. So we'll see what happens there. All right, this is what J.J. Watt did in his time in Houston. He was the number 1 overall pick, or the number 11 overall pick, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Gosh darn, that's good. 8-time All-Pro, 5 Pro Bowls, 2-time sack leader. He was the Walter Payton of the Year. All right, I don't really care about that. Raised over $40 million after Hurricane Harvey. That's real great. That's probably why he won the Man of the Year. 101 sacks, well freaking done. 61 pass defenses. Holy cow. 25 forced fumbles. Oh my goodness. And the best stat of all, 7 touchdowns. 4 of those defensive. Oh my! If you have more than one, if you even have one defensive touchdown, that's amazing. If you have more than one, it's absolutely fantastic. And if you have 4, holy cow, send this man up to Canton already. And then he squeezed in on the offensive side of the ball 3 times to get a couple of easy 1-yard goal line touches for some easy touchdowns there. So what a career here by J.J. Watt. Fantastic run in Houston. Obviously, any team would benefit from having them. There's no team that he goes to that he makes them worse, obviously. So we'll see where he goes. But his brother TJ sending a little bit of a signal here on Twitter with the Rock Come here. It's The Rock. You smell what I'm cooking? Smell what I'm cooking over here in Pittsburgh. So we'll see. Does he team up with his old brother there, his younger brother in Pittsburgh? I would not like to see that because that just means that Pittsburgh defense gets even better than it already is. So literally any team would benefit from having J.J. Watt. Definitely come to Miami. I'm all about that. But, yeah, he can go wherever he wants. He's a free agent now, and he can sign whenever. There's no restrictions. He can literally sign right now if he wanted to. So we'll see where he goes, and obviously we will keep you guys updated on the story. Alrighty, Juju Smith-Schuster, I don't see him leaving Pittsburgh, but we'll see what happens. Little report here, Raiders reportedly are, quote, very interested in Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, I mean, the Raiders would absolutely love to have him. I mean, it really seems like they are kind of going for a kind of speed-type offense, big speed, fast players. You already got Darren Waller. Juju Smith-Schuster can definitely be an upgrade to that as well. And we'll definitely see, I mean, what they're going to do with their quarterback situation. Are they going to keep Derek Carr, or do they go with Marcus Mariota, which I think is the right choice? So we'll see. Or do they just get somebody new? And I do kind of want to go a little bit deeper into this article. Why do they think that Juju Smith-Schuster is very interested in going to the Raiders? Well, all that we get in this article, this is why they say he's very interested. Because John Clayton of 710 ESPN in Seattle said recently on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. So we got the Seattle-based guy going on a radio show in Pittsburgh talking about one of the Pittsburgh's wide receivers not wanting to be there anymore. Seems a little fishy to me, wanting to kind of drum up some noise. So that's all we get. So John Clayton of 710 ESPN in Seattle said recently on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh that the Raiders are, quote, very interested in signing Smith-Schuster. That's all they got. That's all the information. That's all the kind of leak. That's all we get. So some ESPN guy. So I say Juju Smith-Schuster is staying in Pittsburgh. Spread that around. Had that. Let's change this headline. Steelers reportedly are, quote, very interested in keeping Juju Smith-Schuster. I've heard that from Takes by Fans. So I got a show. I can say stuff. Take me seriously. Juju Smith-Schuster is staying in Pittsburgh, folks. You heard it here first. Alrighty, next story. Here we go. And this is why, folks. You can't really build dynasties, and going back to back is hard, and even three-peating is even impossible almost in this league. So here it is. Shaq Barrett, linebacker for the Bucks, on next contract. Quote, I feel like it's time for me to break the bank now. Well, there goes, bringing everybody back and, getting even better pieces through free agency. I mean, folks, NFL players, you can ask about, I'd probably say about 90% of them outright, they would say this to your face that, they play football to win the ring. It's all about the ring. I don't think anybody would come out and say it's about the money unless you've already won the ring. It's ring first and then money. I mean, that's kind of how NFL players see it. And, money's always great. It's very tempting. So I don't blame players that are all about the money. Shoot, I mean, if you put me in that situation, I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. We're talking millions out there. But back to this story right here. Shaq Barrett, he definitely deserves the money. Nobody's doubting that. But, this is why you can't re-sign everybody. This is why you can't bring everybody back. This is why it's hard to repeat champions because, some people are prioritizing money. Some people are prioritizing, rings. Some people are prioritizing, being the greatest of all time. And if we go, back to like coaching situations with the Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy, I mean, once again, he just wants to be the guy. He wants the recognition. He doesn't want to be just an offensive coordinator anymore. So this is why you can't go back to back. It's hard to go back to back. It's hard to keep everybody together because once you get that recognition, once you get that ring, man, oh man, it's hard to just say no to the money now. You're like, all right, I already got what I came here for. I have a ring. I was on top. I am the best of all time. I am part of the best team of all time this season. So, I want to get paid now. So definitely he deserves the money. We'll see if he gets it. Bruce Arians was talking out of his neck a little bit on that boat parade, saying that he wants to bring everybody back and, you're not going anywhere, you're staying here. So we'll see who stays, who goes, who's really important to this Bucks kind of collective greatness that they showed this season. So we'll see who is the main priorities and who gets signed first and who gets what. Alrighty, little stat here. And this kind of, tells you it's not how you start, it's how you finish, folks. Here it is. Quarterbacks with the most drop passes this season. Tom Brady is at number 1 with 45 drop passes. And we all know that those drop passes came a little bit early in the season. I mean, they got out to a really tough start, slow start there in Tampa Bay, which is to be expected with a, no preseason, new quarterback, kind of a new system, stuff like that, new pieces everywhere, just bringing in talent on talent on talent, how to manage all that talent. So Tom Brady led the league with drop passes with 45, and then Big Ben is at number 2 with 41, and same thing with Patrick Mahomes. They're tied for 2 for 41. But Tom Brady had all of his drops in the beginning of the season. We just saw so many drops in that Super Bowl by the Chiefs receiver, so that adds to the Patrick Mahomes 41 drops. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish. The Bucs cleaned up all their mistakes right in time for the Super Bowl, where the Chiefs started to have all their mistakes right in the Super Bowl, all the drop passes. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We weren't really clowning, but we weren't really encouraging the Bucs very early on in the season. And once again, we have to apologize for Tom Brady by that. You clean it up in the Super Bowl. He always shows up. They finished super strong. They finished clean, offensively and defensively. They all cleaned up all their mistakes right in time for the Super Bowl. They took every single game, weeks 1 through 17, took all that time, took their 3 playoff games, and then when it came time 2 weeks to prepare for the Super Bowl, everybody collectively cleaned it up. Defense only allowed 9 points. Tom Brady threw no picks. I don't even think they dropped a pass at all that game. 8 incompletions. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I mean, when we're talking about GOATs, they know how to finish, folks. Alrighty, Bears, another report here. How true is this one? We don't know, but we'll talk about it anyway. Here we go. Bears wide receiver Allen Robinson open to playing for the Jags again. He was with the Jags before he went to Chicago. I think it was with the Jags for about 3 or 4 seasons. But yes, of course, Allen Robinson would want to go back to Jacksonville. When he was in Jacksonville the first time, his quarterback was Blake Bortles, who couldn't even throw 60% completion percentage for an entire season and had so many interceptions. I actually have stats up. Let's just look at him. Let's look at Blake Bortles. This is the guy that, Allen Robinson was getting passes from. Because Allen Robinson was in Jacksonville from 2014 to 2017, I believe that's when he left. So this 4-year stretch here, Blake Bortles, 58.9% completion, 58.6, 58.9, 60.2, finally got to 60s, but it's the low 60s. It's barely 60, 60.2. So nothing really great here. And then these interceptions. Folks, look at these touchdown to interception ratios. Year 1, 11 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Year 2, 35 touchdowns. That's actually real good. Let's shout him out there. Damn, 35 touchdowns and 4,400 yards? But the completion percentage was at 58%. It only led to 5 and 11. That's why you can't be throwing 18 picks. So yes, the 35 touchdowns is good. Yes, the 4,400 yards is real good. Gosh darn. But when you're throwing all these interceptions, when the completion percentage is low, you lead to a 5 and 11 record. So unfortunate there. Year number 3 with Allen Robinson. What do we got? 23 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. There's so many interceptions. And then the last year, 2017, 21 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. You are not going to get it done throwing all those picks. You have to be at least 2-1. And even at 2-1, you're looking at kind of 8-8, 9-7. You got to be higher than 2-1. And Blake Bortles is not even close to 2-1. So, Of course. Hang on, we're going a little crazy here. Yes, of course, Allen Robinson would want to go back to Jacksonville. They're about to sign Trevor Lawrence with the number 1 overall pick. He was with Blake Bortles for 4 seasons. He was with Mitch Trubisky for the last 3 seasons, making Mitch Trubisky look decent because that's their only wide receiver that Mitch Trubisky was going to, and Allen Robinson would catch anything, 5 yards over his head, 5 yards to the right of him, 5 yards to the left of him, making diving catches, sacrificing his body to make Mitch Trubisky looked good because we know that man wasn't accurate. So Allen Robinson played with Blake Bortles, who was throwing all those picks. He was playing with Mitch Trubisky, who couldn't be accurate past 5 yards down the field. And now he has a chance to play with the number 1 overall pick. Of course, he would love to go back there and play with Trevor Lawrence. And, they got Urban Meyer as the head coach now. So Allen Robinson back to the Jags could potentially happen. Allen Robinson could go anywhere and instantly make that team better. Because if you make Mitch Trubisky look good, you will make anybody look good. So we'll see where he goes. Definitely he would fit perfectly with the Dolphins. I would love that. But we definitely got to get Devontae Smith first. So Brian Flores, don't say, me wanting to have Allen Robinson on the Dolphins, kind of succeeds or supersedes me wanting Devontae Smith with the 3rd overall pick. Okay? Let's get that straight. Alrighty, let's shout out this little fan. Well, I don't want to call him little. Let's try that again. Let's shout out this fan on Twitter, at RayTed. Follow this man because he posted this great little video here about, just Cam Chancellor, throwing it back a little bit because this man was absolutely perfect, part of that Legion of Boom in Seattle. So we get a nice little 45-second highlight clip. Let's watch it. He quoted the tweet saying they don't make safeties like Cam anymore. And when we watch the film, folks, yes, they don't. Yes, they do not make safeties like this man anymore. He was coming out for a head. So here we go. Let's start watching it a little bit. Coming across the middle, just a shoulder, blasting the wide receiver. Look at that right there. Oh my goodness, these are going way too quick to talk over, but he's literally brutalizing everybody. If you catch the ball, you better be ready for the biggest shoulder hit you ever taken in your entire life. Little pick 6 here, thrown by Cam Newton. He's all over the field, a true ball hawk as well. Oh my goodness, we got to look back at this tackle. Holy moly. This one against the Browns just throws them down, picks them up, throw them down. Yes, sir, when that was still illegal in this league. Alrighty, Carson Wentz getting picked off by Cam Chancellor, just come flying in. Look at him pulling a little Troy Polamalu jumping right over the line of scrimmage, forcing the ball out right before the end zone. Another tackle in the backfield. Oh my goodness, a little kind of just out to the running back, and he instantly blows him up. Cam Chancellor is a force to be reckoned with, folks. I mean, just look at some of these hits and that pick again. Gosh darn. Damn, Cam. Definitely missed this man. Damn, those hits are good. Woof, I would not want to get hit by Cam Chancellor, folks. This man, I think if I got hit, I'd be like, all right, coach, I'm out. I'm good. Hobbling to the field, trying not to cry because I got absolutely obliterated by a safety when I was going over the middle. Woof. Yes, sir, Cam Chancellor. One of the greatest to ever do it, folks. Alrighty, today is Trevor Lawrence's pro day at Clemson, so everybody's there evaluating him. And we get Urban Meyer, the new coach of the Jags. He is standing on the field, and this quote points out that, there was only, a few players on the field actually watching him, but everybody else was on the sideline. So, I mean, we know Trevor Lawrence is going number 1 overall. I mean, if anybody says he's not, they're lying to you or just trying to get clicks or, clickbait, whatever they want. He is going number 1, folks. Doesn't matter what happens from now until draft day. He will be number 1. We've been talking about Trevor Lawrence for like 2 seasons now. He's great. He was looking fantastic. He's got a ring. He's got a national championship. He's looking great. He is no doubt going number 1. Do not let anybody fool you thinking that he will not go number 1. Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence, Allen Robinson, potentially all on the Jags. Alrighty, and then the Pouncey brothers are officially retiring from the NFL. Unfortunate there. Marquise Pouncey, a huge staple in Pittsburgh, the center there forever. And then, so he's a little bit better than Mike Pouncey, but Mike Pouncey is also officially retiring. I think he had a stint with the Dolphins, I want to say. Mike Pouncey. Either way, Pouncey brothers are out of here. Marquise has definitely had a little bit of a better career than Mike. I think Mike Pouncey finished on the Chargers. Is that true? But either way, Pouncey brothers are out. Decent names here. I mean, this is a decent name here for the Steelers, obviously, and we'll know like what Big Ben thinks about that. I mean, that was his center for the longest time. Is Big Ben going to retire? Is he going to stay one more year? I saw a video on Twitter last night, I think. Marquise Pouncey, after their playoff loss with Big Ben sitting on the bench, Marquise Pouncey comes over to Big Ben, and Big Ben says, I only came back for you, right? You know that, right? So, I just wanted you to have this moment one more time. So, are they going to retire together? Is Big Ben going to get forced out by the coach and the ownership? We'll see what happens here. But Mike Pouncey retiring could be a little bit of a hint that Big Ben may be following. Alrighty, here we go. And another another Twitter account to shout out this man, at GPB Landon, for putting this GIF up here. Super Bowl 56 GIF here, where you just click it and then, it stops on it and then you got the matchup. So we're going to do our this is going to be the official matchup of Super Bowl 56, folks. We're going to call it right now. We're going to let the GIF go. We're going to click it and then we're going to have our matchup. And then we'll go look in the comments and see, if any of these other matchups that anybody else has are realistic. Maybe talk about them for a little bit. Have a little fun on this Friday. So the official As soon as I click this, folks, it will stop, and we will have the official pick of Super Bowl 56. So the Super Bowl 56 matchup is going to be, this is 100%, you can bet it if you can right now. Bet this matchup. The matchup in Los Angeles next year for the Super Bowl will be Broncos and the Cardinals, folks. You have heard it here, folks. Breaking news. Congratulations to the Broncos and the Cardinals. Drew Lock gets to a Super Bowl. How crazy. Drew Lock beats Patrick Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl? Crazier things have happened. And then Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins have finally 1 year under their belt. They have got it figured out, and they're going to the Super Bowl as well. So Broncos, Cardinals. There it is, folks. I would say Cardinals is a little bit more realistic than the Broncos. I really don't see the Broncos getting to the championship. But, hey, who knows what's going on this season? Obviously, we do because we got the magic predictor here. So, Broncos, Cardinals, Super Bowl 56. Let's see, take a little look in these comments, see what everybody else has gotten. Jets and the Giants. Yes, no. This will not happen. The Jets will not get there. I know that they're kind of rebuilding right now, and they got Saleh as the new head coach, and they could still potentially get Deshaun Watson. If they get Deshaun Watson, I'll give it a little credit. I'll give it maybe a 5% chance of the Jets getting to the Super Bowl. The Giants, I would love to see that. Seeing Daniel Jones get there, Saquon Barkley first year back healthy, right back in it. So I would love for the Giants to get to the Super Bowl, but when you have to face the Bucs again and the Rams defense with a better quarterback, don't think they're going to be able to beat any of those. What else do we get here? Ooh, Miami. Yes, sir. Miami and the Bears. We'll see. Can Tua take that next step, his year number 2 step, if he's got a great wide receiver with them? You bring in Devontae Smith. I already said they would be instant Super Bowl champions. They would probably three-peat if Devontae Smith is drafted at number 3. So that could definitely happen. And the Bears, year 1 without Mitch Trubisky, instantly make it to the Super Bowl. I can definitely see that, folks. He is holding that team back majorly. Wow, back-to-back Dolphins. All right, Dolphins, Eagles now. Like we said, folks, if they get Devontae Smith, the Dolphins will go to the Super Bowl and will win it. It's hands down. Nobody's doubting this. Nobody's doubting this, folks. Everybody's talking about it. The Eagles, what can they do? Well, they just got rid of Doug Peterson. Don't really see that happening too much, honestly. And Jalen Hurts would have like his first official kind of year to himself starting. So I don't really see the Eagles getting there. I think the Jets would get there before the Eagles do, honestly. How crazy is that? Alrighty, another guy. We got Bills and the Cowboys. Definitely the Bills can make it. They just got to the AFC Championship game this year. They can easily make the Super Bowl. That's a very possibility there. And the Cowboys, once Dak Prescott, is healthy back from, that brutal injury. Holy cow. They could definitely do it, but they have Mike McCarthy as the head coach. I really don't think as long as Mike McCarthy's there, they're not going to get to the Super Bowl. They have the talent to get to the Super Bowl. They do not have the coaching leadership to get to the Super Bowl, unfortunately. Patriots and Green Bay. Green Bay can definitely get there. They just got to the AFC Championship. The Patriots, they would need a lot, folks. They need the quarterback, first of all. They need the wide receiver, second of all. They need a second wide receiver, third of all. They need a running back, fourth of all. And they need to hopefully clean up the defense a little bit more. So 4 big ifs for this Patriots team. Billy B, the pressure is on him. Tom's got one without you. What are you doing here? 6 wins with Cam Newton? Not enough, Bill. Got to do something else. So this is definitely a big year for Billy B. So the Patriots can get in because a vengeful, angerful Billy B. That's nothing I want to play with. Chiefs, Packers, yes, this almost happened, so obviously can happen next year. This would be a great one to watch as well. How does Aaron Rodgers handle Patrick Mahomes? Can he outperform Patrick Mahomes for a game? Raiders, Packers, this man did 2 of them. Oh, you can't do... Oh, no, he didn't do 2 of them. This is another guy. All right, they have similar profile picks. Alrighty, Raiders and Packers. Packers could definitely get there, as we've said. Raiders, hey, they were looking to get Juju Smith-Schuster. If they get him, are they Super Bowl contenders? No. If they have Marcus Mariota at quarterback, then I put them as Super Bowl contenders, but not with Derek Carr, I don't think. Not with Derek Carr and Jay Gruden, because that's not working out so well. I don't understand why. We'll do a few more. Let's just do a little rapid here. See if we can get any good matchups here. Broncos, Seahawks. Once again, another Broncos guy. We got Broncos. Bills, Vikings. Potential Vikings there. I mean, it all depends on Kirk Cousins. What he do? He's probably got one more year there to try and prove something. Another Chiefs and Packers. That's the second one we saw. Browns, Rams. This one can definitely happen. The Rams with Matthew Stafford. I mean, we just saw their defense only giving up less than 300 points. The only team to do that all season. Fantastic. So the defense is great. The offense should be great. I mean, Sean McVay was trying everything. He just didn't think Jared Goff can make the throws consistently. So yes, the Rams could definitely get there, and also the Browns can get there as well. They had a great season this season. Everybody stepped up. Everybody was buying in. And once you get OBJ back healthy, that's just another dynamic of the offense. So definitely the Browns can get there. They made the playoffs. They took that first step. Now can they take the next step? This guy's got a Super Bowl repeat here, Chiefs Bucks, which absolutely could happen. That should be the favorites going into next season, honestly. The Bucks were the only team to stop the Chiefs offensively all season long. So is that going to change next year? Probably not. So the Bucks, Chiefs could definitely get back there again. Colts, Washington. Ooh, Ron Rivera takes the giant leap from, winning the division with a not great record to getting into the Super Bowl. Could potentially happen. I mean, he almost beat the Bucks. Taylor Heineke, game-winning drive, couldn't get it done. And the Colts, they're just a quarterback away. No longer Phillip Rivers. Whoever they get, folks, they'll be Super Bowl contenders. They've got the roster around it. Alrighty. That's looking like all the matchups. This guy's got Chiefs Falcons. That could be interesting. I would like to see the Falcons get back there. They've got definitely the talent, the core. Maybe not Matt Ryan, but we'll see what happens at that situation. Alrighty. So the official matchup, as we said, was Broncos, Cardinals. Bet it and bet it big, folks. Alrighty, last two stories here are in the NBA now. So if you were on Twitter last night at all from about 7 to 10, you would know that Blake Griffin probably won the game. It is now the MVP front runner, and it will be selected an All-Star, and they won the game, and he dropped 57 points because literally every NBA account, sport account was tweeting this clip. Smooth Blake take on NBA LP. This is what NBA tweeted out. That's what you tweeted out because he spun to the basket and got a layup. The man hasn't dunked in over 2 years, so we're praising this man on a spinning layup. It's a nice move, don't get me wrong, but literally, folks, I'm not exaggerating. I was going to like them all and show them all on here, but it was just too many, honestly. I'm talking ESPN, NBA, SportsCenter, Bleacher Report gambling, Bleacher Report something else. Literally every single account posted this same clip. Can we all relax, folks? Everybody went crazy when he dropped 24. We haven't heard from him since. Even in this game, they still lose the game. So yes, he had a great play in the first quarter. This happened in the first quarter. I think in the first 5 minutes, maybe even in the first 2 minutes of the game. Honestly, it was real early in the game. So can we all relax, folks? I want Blake Griffin to be great. I love this man, but he's past his prime. He's not doing anything great. Can we start focusing on some young, emerging players? Because I haven't seen anybody talk about Trae Young all season, and we're over here shouting him out literally every single game. I'm screaming his name. So can we all relax, folks? Blake Griffin's not good anymore. We're gonna get into his stats. He still shot 1 of 6 from 3. Should we put that on a clip? Should that be tweeted out? Should that be shown? 1 of 6 from 3 with only 3 rebounds. That should be shown? Show his stat line. Oh my goodness, the 24-point game. The social media went crazy. One spinning layup, they go crazy as well. All right, folks. All right. If this is what y'all listen to and watch on a daily basis, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But, this is kind of why we started the show for a little bit. A little reason right here. This one. Because they're shouting out Blake Griffin for some reason. All right. And then the last story to do today. What do we got here? This is the All-Star voting. We'll see how our All-Star selections stack up. Voting goes until February 16th, so that's next Tuesday. Either on Monday or Tuesday, we'll kind of re-solidify our picks. We'll go through what we've already kind of said as the All-Stars and kind of just make sure, solidify and lock in all of our picks. So, has anything changed? I think we've done it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So sometime in between there. Maybe our minds have changed a little bit. But let's see how our All-Stars stack up on the most voted All-Stars up until last night. So, let's remind y'all what we got. These are our All-Stars. We got in the East, Trae Young, LaMelo Ball. Those are our guards. And then Embiid, Tatum, and Jarrett Allen are our front court. So, let's see how we stack up in the East. Are any of our All-Stars in the top voting? The top voting guards in the East are Bradley Beal, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Trae Young. All right, we got Trae Young on there. He's currently number 6, so that's good. I don't know how many actually make it. Is it 10? It's not 20. They don't do 40 All-Stars, do they? I don't think so. Do they do 5 and 5? I think there's 13, so like the top 13. I don't know. However they do it, but I don't like Trae Young being number 6, and he doesn't even have 1 million votes. He's like 1 million votes out from number 1. Okay. I get Bradley Beal's doing good, but it's not translating to wins, so that's why we have Trae Young. So, got to definitely see Trae Young in there. He's currently number 6. Number 7 is Colin Sexton. Derrick Rose at number 8. Love to see that man getting votes. Russell Westbrook at 9. Russell Westbrook at 9. Are you kidding me? Y'all put Russell Westbrook in the... Oh, my goodness. All right. Y'all can vote for Russell Westbrook if you want. And Fred VanVleet is at number 10. So, unfortunately, our LaMelo Ball is currently not an All-Star. Folks, get the voting. LaMelo Ball deserves to be an All-Star. Get this man. Russell Westbrook's got more votes than LaMelo Ball. Are we crazy? Are y'all crazy? Alrighty, and then the front court. Let's say ours again. We got Embiid, Tatum, and Jarrett Allen. Let's see what everybody else is voting. Number 1 is Kevin Durant. 2 is Giannis. 3 is Joel Embiid. So, right pick there. Love to see that man getting votes. He's the MVP. Jason Tatum's number 4. Once again, our guy again. Jimmy Butler at 5. Bam Adebayo at 6. Domantas Sabonis at 7. Julius Randle at 8. Oh, recognition for him in New York. Love to see that. Gordon Hayward at 9. And Jeremy Grant at 10. Y'all put Jeremy Grant. I get it. He's the best player on the Pistons. I get that. So we got officially 3 of our 5 Eastern All-Stars voted in. We have to make it happen. Get Jarrett Allen in the All-Star lineup, folks. If he was still with the Nets, you would be knowing his name, folks. Just because he's with the Cavs on the bench, he's still getting great production out there. So Jarrett Allen, LaMelo Ball, 2 kind of bench players that are elevating themselves into starters. Jarrett Allen will be the starter of the Cavs once they trade Andre Drummond or they trade Jarrett Allen to a good team he can compete in the starting lineup with. And LaMelo Ball worked his way up. He averaged 12, 7, and 7 off the bench, folks. He's been in the starting lineup, I think, for only the last 6 games, and he's been absolutely balling out. So we still stick with our kind of predictions here. We'll have, our Monday or Tuesday show where we kind of solidify these picks. Definitely, if only either Jarrett Allen or LaMelo Ball could get into the All-Star game, I think we go with LaMelo Ball. He's been fantastic in his rookie season, already better than his brother, already kind of elevating this Hornets team into a playoff spot. They're number 7, folks. So, yes, sir, we are still kind of standing behind. Get LaMelo Ball into the All-Stars, folks. Get him in there. Alrighty, let's go over to the West now. Let's do the guards. We got Chris Paul and Damian Lillard as our all-star guards in the West. Let's see where they rank in the totality of voting. Number 1 of guards in the West is Steph Curry. All right, I can get behind that. The man is just absolutely single-handedly trying to will his team back to winning again. So absolutely fantastic. He's got 4 million votes. Very well done. Truly deserved. Luka Doncic at number 2, Damian Lillard at 3, Donovan Mitchell at 4, John Morant at 5, Devin Booker at 6, Chris Paul at 7. Alrighty, there it is. Those are our 2. Damian Lillard at 3, Chris Paul at number 7, Klay Thompson. Y'all voted Klay Thompson as an All-Star. Are we serious with that? I don't even know what to say about that. CJ McCollum at 9, Alex Caruso at 10. Y'all voted Klay Thompson. All right. We're going to save our opinions on that to ourselves. We're not going to say anything about that. Alrighty. At least, because I swear to God, if Chris Paul was not voted an All-Star and they all put Klay Thompson in, I would have lost it. All right. So now in our front court, so at least everybody's kind of on the same page with us. Chris Paul and Damian Lillard definitely deserve to be an All-Star. I like it. And then our front court in the West, which we will have to change our vote because Christian Wood's been injured, folks. Damn it. We had LeBron James, Jokic, and Christian Wood of the Rockets. Those were our 3 front court selections. So let's see where they rank up. LeBron James, number 1 for the front court in the West. Very well done. Jokic is number 2. So they're taking our advice, are voting for LeBron and Jokic, number 1 and 2 in the West. Love to see that. Kawhi Leonard, number 3. Anthony Davis, number 4. We were going to put Anthony Davis, but we just didn't want 2 members from the same team on there. So Anthony Davis, number 4. Paul George, number 5. Zion, number 6. Oh, love to see that man get a lot of votes. That's well done. 800,000 votes for Zion Williams. Oh, I love this even more. Andrew Wiggins getting the recognition he truly deserves here. 500,000 votes, and it's absolutely deserved. He's the second best player on the Warriors right now. Well, maybe I should say third because Draymond Green is still there. Besides the main core of the Warriors, Steph Curry and Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins is the best player besides those big 2. So absolutely love to see this man getting the recognition he deserves. Christian Wood at number 8. So, our thinking is right on par. It's unfortunate he got injured and hasn't played in the last kind of 3 or 4 games. But what have the Rockets done in the last 3 or 4 games? Lose all of those games, basically. I think they maybe, what did they win? 1? No, they're 0-3 in their last 3 games. 0-4 in their last 4 games. They're on a 4-game losing streak. You need Christian Wood. That just speaks to how well he should be an all-star, because as soon as you take him out of the starting lineup, the Rockets go back to not being that great, unfortunately. So, yes, Christian Wood definitely deserves to be an all-star. Hopefully he can be. It shouldn't be a big injury. He really should be coming back maybe next week. So, hopefully when the all-star game, definitely in time for the all-star, he should be ready. So, yes, Christian Wood. Love to see that. And then number 9 is Brandon Ingram. Very well done. He's having great success on the Pelicans. And then Carmelo Anthony, number 10. In the front court with 346,000 votes. I mean, that's very well done as well. Carmelo Anthony, we're going to talk about him a little bit later on the show. He's absolutely putting in all the work. He's stepping up. He's being clutch. He's being that factor on the Blazers now that McCollum and Nurkic are not there, not healthy. Carmelo Anthony is definitely stepping up, and we saw it last night. Huge reason why the Blazers were able to beat the 76ers. So, all right, I think the fans got it right. The fans are kind of getting it right here. I love the respect of Christian Wood at number 8. Love to see that. Hate seeing Klay Thompson at number 8, folks. He hasn't played all season. Like, I get it. I get why. But come on. Can we be a little bit realistic? Can we give somebody else recognition? I mean, he hasn't played. Can we elevate somebody else? Who's a guard on here that should be on here? I don't know, but that's not the point. Klay Thompson should not be on here. Alrighty, what else do we get here? In the front court in the East, love seeing Julius Randle on there. Very well done. Jeremy Grant, once again, very well done to him. And then for the guards in the East, very well done to Derrick Rose. Russell Westbrook should not be on there. Fred VanVleet, that's fine. I don't care about that. Colin Sexton, after that Nets game, I would definitely be voting for him. But ever since then, I mean, he hasn't really done anything, honestly. Even against the bad teams, he's not stepping up. So I don't really agree with Colin Sexton. But I am very glad that, Trae Young is a little deeper. I would definitely put Trae Young over Zach LaVine. I think I would put over Jaylen Brown. That's where it starts to get a little tough. So maybe Trae Young is number 6. Jaylen Brown, you may be able to leapfrog Trae Young with Jaylen Brown. It's tough. Alrighty, so doing pretty good there. Couple more days left of voting, so get those votes in. Let's start bumping up Trae Young. Let's start bumping up Christian Wood. Let's definitely start bumping up Chris Paul, because he should be above Devin Booker. He should be above John Morant. Donovan Mitchell, probably not. Damian Lillard, it's tough. So he definitely should be moving up a little bit more. Get Chris Paul some more votes. Get Christian Wood some more votes. Get Trae Young some more votes. And I think we'll be good. And definitely get LaMelo Ball some votes. Get this man in the top 10. Alrighty, those are our stories of the day. A little bit long here, but hey, it's Friday. Let's have a little fun, interactive with the fans out there with some great tweets and seeing where the fans line up on the All-Stars. Alrighty, so now let's go to here. We'll go over what happened in the NBA last night. We'll do our moneymaker and we'll do our power rankings, and then we're out of here. So here we go. The NBA games from last night, not a lot, some solid games. Rockets, Heat, and the Heat win. 4 straight wins for them. I mean, folks, all they needed is Jimmy Butler back in the starting lineup, folks. That's it. That's all they were missing. If you watched them last year in the bubble, that's their lifeblood. That is their guy. If he is not in the starting lineup, there is no other leadership on the floor. Not that nobody else is a leader on the Heat, but Jimmy Butler, he's the guy. He's the superstar. He's the face of the franchise. Everybody respects the hell out of this man. I mean, even on teams where he leaves, everyone's like, he was kind of, barking at people, but I mean, like, he's not calling out other players for things that he would not be doing himself. So he really lives by his own examples that he sets, and so that's why we do like Jimmy Butler a lot here. So the Heat win. Once again, the Rockets lose without Christian Wood. Yes, DeMarcus Cousins is good, but he's a bench big. He's a bench player. He's not really elevating his play in the starting lineup, and it's unfortunate. All those injuries really impacting his career. He's still a solid player, but he's a backup, and now, Christian Wood being out, you elevate DeMarcus Cousins to the starting lineup, and now you've got no depth on your bench anymore. So that's why the Rockets are floundering. Even with John Wall and Victor Oladipo in the starting lineup, you need 3 great players, and unfortunately, the Rockets have like 2.5, and it's not getting it done. So Christian Wood should be an all-star, folks. This tells you why right here. Rockets are losing without him. That's all-star mentality. So very well done to the Heat. And hey, do we put them in the top 10 now? 11 wins now. We'll see when we get there. Raptors, Celtics, and the Celtics winning. And this is kind of just what we're saying about the Raptors. They're not ready to start beating the good teams consistently. There's no reason why this kind of Raptors team should have lost to the Celtics with only Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. We'll see what Kemba Walker did. Did he have a great game? That would kind of be the only thing in my mind that would push the Celtics over the Raptors, but we know Kemba hasn't really been able to be, counted on too much in these kind of games. So that's why we're not buying the Raptors just quite yet. If you can't be the Celtics without, all their players, basically, I don't know, man. I don't know. Alrighty, Pacers beating the Pistons. So, I mean, why did they all freak out against over Blake Griffin's 180 spin dunk or layup? Not even a dunk. It wasn't even a dunk. He had a great career. Well, he had a solid career in LA, but he's definitely fallen off hard, and I think we all know that. Unfortunate. So Pacers winning a game that they should win. That doesn't surprise us. This isn't a team that really steps up either against a better team, so that's why we're not buying the Raptors. That's why we're not buying the Pacers. Steph Curry gets it done over the Magic, 111-105. Very well done. I mean, the man went for 40 points, folks. Can we start giving this man a little bit more respect? He's the greatest shooter of all time. He will will his way to wins. He does not care. No Klay Thompson, no problem. You give me Andrew Wiggins, you give me a streaky as heck Kelly Oubre Jr., I guess I'll have to make it work. I guess I'll put up 40 every game if Kelly's not giving me anything. That's fine. So very well done to the Warriors. Steph Curry going wild. And then the last game of the night, the 76ers and the Blazers. Very close game, came down to the wire, but the 76ers ended up losing the game, and it's not a great look by them. The Blazers, I mean, this is a great look for them. I will say that. No CJ McCollum, no Nurkic, and they all step up. Gary Trent Jr. went wild. Carmelo Anthony is having great success here. And, Damian Lillard is doing Damian Lillard things. The man is, I tweeted this out last night, he is the top 3 most consistent clutch player there is in the league right now, folks. I don't know who I would put also in the top 3. I think I would put definitely LeBron James, but Damian Lillard, LeBron James are definitely easily the most consistent clutch players, and the Blazers are winning because of the way that Damian Lillard is playing, even though they're missing 2 great pieces. Everybody's stepping up because Damian Lillard is a great leader. He's a great point guard. He's a great floor general, and very well done to the Blazers, upsetting the 76ers last night, 118-114. Alrighty, let's go a little bit deeper into these stats now. Let's go back to Heat and the Rockets, and let's start with the Rockets. Jimmy Butler, triple-double, yes, sir. 27 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. Got to the line 11 times, only took 2 3-pointers. This is what we know about Jimmy Butler. Doesn't really take the threes a lot, solid play everywhere else, and that's exactly what we get from Jimmy Butler. So once again, very well done. And once again, I mean, they're still doing all this without Goran Dragic, folks. Like, Goran Dragic is kind of the number 2 on this team. It goes Jimmy Butler, Goran Dragic, then probably Bam Adebayo, then, I mean, it's a kind of a tie for 4 between Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. They also didn't even have Tyler Hero for this game either. So very well done. It's Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is this team, folks. So when he is in the starting lineup, they are fine. We also see Kelly Olynyk in the starting lineup as well. He's usually a bench player, so they are losing depth because Goran Dragic and Avery Bradley and Tyler Hero are all not playing. So a huge, great sign here for the team. They're beating a Rockets team. They're shorthanded. The Heat are shorthanded. If the Heat are more shorthanded than the Rockets, and they find ways to win the game. I do also want to point out that who went down, PJ Tucker, ended up getting injured in this game, and it really kind of turned the tide. Lost all momentum at that point. I think he exited kind of later or mid-third quarter, and I believe the Rockets had the lead at that time. So PJ Tucker is a huge piece. He's a beef down low. He's a great number 4. So, now you lose your number 4. You've got no height with DeMarcus Cousins now that, Christian Wood is out. So now you're actually small ball, and you're not that great at really hitting the threes as consistently as the previous small ball Rockets teams that we've seen. So that's another reason why the Rockets lost last night. Unfortunate there. So Jimmy Butler, great stat line. Kelly Olynyk, pretty good game, 6 points, but 13 rebounds. That's very well done. Bam Adebayo, 10 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. So even better than Kelly Olynyk. And Kelly Olynyk, he's a solid bench player. I don't really like him in the starting lineup, but I mean, they're very short-handed here, so they got to elevate that man to the starting lineup. So everybody needs to take a chill pill on this Heat team, especially Paul Pierce, saying that the Heat wouldn't even make the playoffs. That was nonsense at the time. He obviously doesn't know that Jimmy Butler is the lifeblood. Maybe he should start watching takes by fans a little bit more. What else do we get here? Duncan Robinson, 15 points, 5 of 11 from 3. Kendrick Nunn, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 of 10 from 3. Not the greatest. Definitely could have shot a little bit better, but did just enough. And as we said, no Tyler Hero, no Goran Dragic, and they still pull off the win. So very well done to the Heat. Let's go to the Rockets now. John Wall, only 17 points. A little light, right? I mean, you need John Wall and Victor Oladipo to both get you 20, and Victor Oladipo getting you only 6 points. That's not going to work out. Even if they're scoring coming from other sources, you need your superstars to step up, like Jimmy Butler does on a gamely basis. That's why they win when Jimmy Butler's in the starting lineup. DeMarcus Cousins had a pretty decent game. We will shout him out here. 16 points, 11 rebounds. Very well done. PJ Tucker, as we said, I mean, if he would have closed out this game, the Rockets probably win. I do kind of feel comfortable saying that. 8 points, 3 rebounds, just kind of a great defense. I mean, he was the only one positive plus in the plus minus. So, I mean, if he plays the entire game, they probably win. Eric Gordon off the bench has been really great here this season. Didn't shoot well, but still put up 17 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds off the bench. Daniel House Jr., little lackluster on the threes, 9 points, only 1 of 9 from 3. Definitely has to shoot a little bit better than that. So Rockets, I mean, when they start losing some pieces, they lose all their mojo, they lose all their energy, and Victor Oladipo and John Wall can't really seem to be the main guys, unfortunately, on a night in basis. So unfortunate here by the Rockets. They are in our power rankings, so we'll see what we do with them, but not looking great. Alrighty, let's go to Raptors and Celtics now. We'll start here with the losing Raptors. Let's start with the losing team here. Fred VanVleet, 5 points, and y'all voted this man an all-star against the Celtics, against a team that they really needed to kind of beat to kind of solidify their kind of their toughness, their kind of place in this league, in the top tiers of this league, but they couldn't even do that. Fred VanVleet, this is what we know. We are kind of seeing some spotty performances. Now, everybody else kind of had some great game, or kind of a great performance in the starting lineup. We get Norman Powell with 15 points. That's very solid. Pascal Siakam, 23 points on 57% shooting. Very well done. Absolutely. Aaron Baines, 8 points, 8 rebounds. Solid play by him. Fred VanVleet, as we said, only 5 points. He did have 11 assists, so I will give him that. But the 5 points, got to score. That's why y'all lost. Y'all only put up what? 106. They put up 120. Where was those 14 points? Fred VanVleet could have went easily 19 points, 11 assists. That should have been easy for him. But we know he is streaky. He is one of the streaky ones. Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet have been very streaky this season. Siakam has kind of started to clean it up these last couple of games, but Fred VanVleet is still a little streaky, so we're not 100% sold on this Raptors team. Kyle Lowry, 24.6 assists. That's what we're talking about. Kyle Lowry has really been consistent all season for this Raptors team, and that's what we know. He is their only superstar on this team, folks. So Kyle Lowry doing his thing, leading scorer. That's what we will love to see out there. Chris Boucher off the bench, another good performance, 12.6 rebounds. Stanley Johnson, 9 points off the bench. Solid there. So, unfortunate by the Raptors. Not everybody's stepping up in the starting lineup, and that's what we know. Those are our keys to success for the Raptors. All the starters need 10-plus points, and Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and Kyle Lowry, 2 of those 3 players need to be putting up 20 points a game. All right, let's go to the Celtics now. Jason Tatum didn't even have a great game. Not a monster game. Good performance all around, but only 17 points. But we had other great 20-point performers, too. So 17 points by Jason Tatum, 19 assists, 6 rebounds. Very, very well done there. Jaylen Brown, 12 points. So, I mean, folks, you lose a game where the Celtics big 2, Jason Brown and Jaylen Tatum. I don't know why I keep switching their names around. It's super frustrating. I do it all the time. I can't stop it. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they only combined for 29 points. That should have been a win, honestly. That should have been a win. But very well done. We got to shout out these other players because other players stepped up. So, Semi Ojeleye, 24 points. I think this is his first time in the starting lineup, and this definitely worked. You don't have, I mean that lineup of Daniel Tice and freaking Tristan Thompson, I don't know what they were trying to do with that. So, Semi Ojeleye moves to the 4, Daniel Tice moves to the 5, and it seems to work out pretty dang well. Semi Ojeleye, if you're getting great scoring points from anybody else besides Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, stick with that lineup, please. So, yes, I love this lineup here. This is great. Semi Ojeleye at the 3, or at the 4. Kemba Walker with 21 points. That's what we're talking about. Shot decently as well. 41% from the field and 62% from the 3. 5 of 8 from the 3. So, very well done by Kemba Walker. Nice 21-point performance out there. And then who else had 20? We got Peyton Pritchard off the bench, 20 points, 5 rebounds. Shot 60% from the field and 75% from the 3. Very well done. Tristan Thompson off the bench, 4 points, 11 rebounds. That's more his speed, a bench big. That's what we're talking about. All right, Brad Stevens. We may be able to buy the Celtics just off this one game alone, honestly. I actually like this lineup now. This is what we got. Kemba at the 2, Kemba Walker at the 1, Jaylen Brown at the 2, Jason Tatum at the 3, Semi Ojeleye at the 4, and Daniel Tice at the 5. This is the lineup. Brad Stevens cracked the code, folks. This is how you make it work without Marcus Smart and Gordon Hayward and all that. And, without Ennis Cantor from last season as well. Taco Fall even got into the game. The game was such a blowout. I mean, that's a disrespect to the Raptors. If Taco Fall comes into your game, you know you didn't perform well. So, Taco Fall, definitely, I would need him incorporated. He's the best big that they have. He's better than Daniel Tice. He's better than Tristan Thompson. He's definitely better than Robert Williams, honestly. So, love to see Taco Fall get into the game. The big old, how tall is he? I think he's like 7'3". It's just ridiculous. What do we got here officially? 7'5". Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. And he's so good too. So he gets in for 2 minutes off the bench, 4 points and 2 rebounds. In 2 minutes of play, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Get this man in the starting lineup. Brad Stevens, you will win a ring if you sub out Taco Fall for Daniel Tice in the starting lineup. Have Tristan Thompson come off the bench. Don't even play Daniel Tice and you'll win every game. So I do like the starting lineup. All right, Brad Stevens, let's give it up for him. He's cracked the code. He's found out how to have a good rotation here. This is how you do it, folks. Well, let's keep an eye on this Celtics team as we move forward. Alrighty, let's move on. What do we got here? Pacers, Pistons. Let's start here with the Pacers. All right, who performed like they should? I mean, this is a team that they should have beat, so this is kind of like we know about the Pacers. Domantas Sabonis, 26 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. Great game by him. Usual game by him. He shot very well, 64% from the field, 50% from the 3. Doug McDermott, 9 points. Miles Turner, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Justin Holiday, 11 points. Malcolm Brogdon, 18 points. All the starters getting it done. That's what we're about here. Like to see that. And then we get, solid contribution off the bench. Definitely by Jeremy Lamb, 17 points, shooting 85% in 3 of 3 from the 3. Absolutely magnificent. And 5 rebounds just to top it off. And 1 assist and 2 steals in 28 minutes off the bench. That is fantastic. And TJ McConnell, 7 points. We'll take it. 7 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Absolutely off the bench. He did play a lot of minutes, but still off the bench, still solid production right there. And then Aaron Holiday, once again, great production in only 12 minutes, 7 points. So great from the starters, very, very good from the bench. So very well done to the Pacers. Still not buying them 100%, but this is the Pacers team. This is what they are. Everybody gets it done. Starters, bench, solid play, and they can win some games. But they do need to start challenging these better teams. All right, Pistons now. Blake Griffin. We all saw the highlights all over Twitter last night, so we must have went absolutely wild, right? Not really. He did have 16 points, which is a lot more than he's averaging. I think he's averaging like 6 points a game. It's not great. But 16 points a game, I will give him that. The 6 assists, very well done there. 3 rebounds, yeah, pretty, just kind of on the cusp of all right. Let's get 5+, but 3, I'll take it. 1 of 6 from 3. Once again, come on. You cannot be having more 3-pointers attempted than rebounds. That's not your game. I know that's what you want your game to be, because we obviously see you cannot dunk anymore. You've kind of lost your bungees, and it's truly unfortunate. I mean, it's absolutely unfortunate, because, I mean, folks, Lob City, I mean, that era, that kind of golden era, what is it, like 4 great years? 3-4 great years? And now he's here with the Pistons, and he's just not in his old self. So, unfortunate for Blake Griffin. Still not shooting great. 38% from the field. 1 of 6 from 3. Not going to get it done. Got to the line 5 times, so I will commend that. Getting into the paint. So, decent game by Blake Griffin. Definitely decent. His second best game of the season, I would say. His first was obviously, the 20-plus point performance. I think it was 24 officially. But whatever. Alrighty, who else stepped up? Not a lot of people. We get Jeremy Grant, only 9 points. Got to be a little bit more consistent here. Leading scorer was Josh Jackson off the bench with 18 points and 8 rebounds. That's well done. And only 24 minutes as well. Very well done. So, I mean, there's really nothing great on this Pistons team. It is truly unfortunate, but they don't have the superstar. They don't even have a great player. Jeremy Grant's their best player, and he's not even stepping up. What is he even averaging? 20? Damn, he's averaging 23, 5, and 3? All right, that's good. Yeah, he's definitely their best player, but last night, not great. 9 points. All right, so Pacers get the win, 111-95. Here we go, Warriors and Magic. We'll start here with the Warriors. Stephen Curry, 40 points, 5 assists, 4 steals, 8 rebounds, 52% from 3. 10 of 19 from 3, folks. 14 of 26 from the field overall. I mean, holy moly, he hit 10 threes. I cannot believe it. Well, I can't believe it because it's Curry. He's the best shooter of all time. Gosh darn. Andrew Wiggins, once again, Steph Curry goes for 40, but Andrew Wiggins like, I'm still gonna get my 20, folks. Y'all better not disrespect me. Oh my God, I cannot shout out Andrew Wiggins. I may have to put him in our kind of. We may have to take out Christian Wood here in our front court, honestly, and put Andrew Wiggins. It's unfortunate. Christian Wood has missed a little bit of time here. That's the only reason why we're taking him out. But we are going to put in Andrew Wiggins right now. We got to get this man in the All-Star. Is he officially a front court? He should be. Y'all are making us go down this far to find Andrew Wiggins? Are you serious? We got to go past Bojan Marjanovic? Boban? Or did I miss him? I must have missed him. He cannot be this deep down. There's no way. I must have missed him. Let me just search him. I actually kind of want to see where they placed him, honestly. Where is Andrew Wiggins? Maybe I didn't miss him. Maybe they disrespected this man and put him all the way down at the bottom. That would be the truly disrespect. Derrick Jones Jr., they have him over over Andrew Wiggins? I like Derrick Jones Jr., don't get me wrong, but there's no way he's better than Andrew Wiggins right now. I cannot believe this. Jared Dudley? There's no way. I have to be missing this man. I got to be missing. He must be a guard or something. Let's see what they got him at. Andrew Wiggins. Where are we at? Here he is. I just missed him. All right. So let's vote for him. Now that I know what his picture's looking like, can we finally see where he is on this chart here? Let's see. Oh, we did vote for him, so yes. Oh, okay, he's right here. Yeah, we missed him. He's exactly where he needs to be. 3rd row down. Absolutely. All right. All right. So, yes, our official picks now, we got Andrew Wiggins instead of Christian Wood. It's unfortunate. Like we said, Christian Wood's fantastic, and if Christian Wood comes back before the 16th, we may be able to kind of put him back in here, but we definitely got to see how he does. But we got to shout out Andrew Wiggins. Absolutely magnificent here. Love it. 21 points. I mean, folks, 61% shooting. Absolutely. I mean, folks, I can't praise him enough. Kelly Oubre Jr., all right, once again, a great game by him. Finally stepping up here. Third leading scorer. This is how it should be every game. Steph Curry goes wild. Andrew Wiggins, solid game. And Kelly Oubre, solid game. Like, Steph Curry goes for 30. Andrew Wiggins, 20. Kelly Oubre, 20. That's not out of the realm of what they can do on a nightly basis. So, Kelly Oubre stepping it up here. 17 points and 10 rebounds and 4 assists. And shot well, 50% from the field and 3 of 7 from 3. So, this is a good performance by Kelly Oubre. Would like to see him in 20 to 22, 25 points, something around those lines, but we'll give him 17 here. Not terrible. And then off the bench, Michael Mulder, very well done, 11 points. What else do we get here? Juan Toscano Anderson still in the starting lineup and still doing decent things out here. Great defender, 9 points overall. Very well done. And then Draymond Green, still doing Draymond Green things, 8 points. 11 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks, just getting it done. Defense, beef, down low, floor general. He's all of those things. So, yes, sir. Still no James Wiseman, unfortunately. Need to get this man back as soon as possible off the bench. I think it's definitely where he fits the best so far in his rookie career. But, yeah, this Warriors team, they're still good, folks. As long as they have Curry, can never count them out. Alrighty, and then the last game of the night, the 76ers and the Blazers. Let's start with the winning team, the Blazers. Can you imagine that? They did. They did win it. And these are the reasons why they won it. Well, Damian Lillard is consistent as heck and puts up 30 points. Didn't shoot the greatest, 28% overall, but still put up 30 points. Got to the line 15 times. I mean, that's exactly how you do it, folks. And had 7 assists to go along with all those points. Gary Trent Jr., great contribution as well. 19 points on 5 of 7 shooting from 3. Very, very, very well done. Derrick Jones Jr., 9 points, 7 rebounds. Love this kid's athleticism. Definitely needs to rein it in a little bit more and definitely needs to kind of tone his game. But he's got all the tangibles. He's got all the athleticism to be a real great player in this league. It could be real dangerous, folks. He could be real, real dangerous. Ennis Cantor in the starting lineup. Very, very well done. 10 points, 14 rebounds, 7 of those offensive. So handling his own in the paint against Joel Embiid. He was a -7 in the plus-minus, which isn't bad in a close game, folks, truly. So Ennis Cantor getting it done. Carmelo Anthony off the bench, 24 points, 4 of 5 from 3, 60% from the field overall. This man has been super consistent and super clutch, just huge shots whenever his team needs it, and he always steps up. We saw this last year in the bubble, really revitalizing his career. We bought into him last year in the bubble, and he is kind of carrying it over here into this season. So very well done to Carmelo off the bench, 24 points. That's exactly what you want from the man. Anthony Simmons, 11 points off the bench. Rodney Hood, 8 points off the bench. This team is real kind of deep, folks. They still got Melo, Rodney Hood, and Anthony Simmons off the bench, and they still don't even have Nurkic or CJ McCollum or even Zach Collins. I am a kind of a decent fan of Zach Collins. I believe he was on the Thunder for a little bit. Is that correct? I'll have to double check that one. But Zach Collins still could be a force in this league as well. So this Blazers team is deep. They're winning without 2 of their main pieces in Nurkic and McCollum. Lillard is still freaking stepping it up on it. He's, like I said, he's one of the 3 consistently clutch players. He will get you the bucket in the fourth quarter. He will win you the game. I will have complete faith in Damian Lillard whenever he shoots. All right, now let's go to the 76ers. They had a real tough night shooting the 3, and that's not great, folks, because they have Danny Green and Seth Curry and Tobias Harris. That should not be happening. And even Joel Embiid, who can hit the 3. So they really should not be missing the 3, and that was what was missing in this game here. They only hit 6 threes while the Blazers hit 17. That will do it right there. That will do it right there. So unfortunate, Danny Green doesn't step up. Why would we ever expect him to step up? He never does. 5 points. Tobias Harris, a tad light by him, 17 points, but he did have 5 assists and 6 rebounds to go along with that. Like we said, 0 of 5 from 3 by that man. Not going to get it done, especially in this close game. They lost by what, 5? 4. They lost by 4. So, I mean, 1-3, 1-point game. Who knows what happens at that point? Seth Curry, he had a decent first half, really kind of trailed off in the second half here. 15 points, 3 of 7 from 3, just a mediocre game. But Joel Embiid, still great as always. 35 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 52%, hit 1 of 2 from 3. Classic Joel Embiid game. And then off the bench, no great performances here. Korkmaz had one decent, I think he had a decent play out there in the fourth quarter, but only 7 points, 5 rebounds. Dwight Howard, 3 points, 5 rebounds in 13 minutes. It's not bad. Definitely the starters, little bit of a letdown. And Danny Green, it always comes back to Danny Green. Everybody else did what they're supposed to do. Ben Simmons, 23 points. I forgot to mention this man. This man was fantastic. His defense was absolutely great all game. 23 points by Ben Simmons, 9 assists, 11 rebounds, just great defense as well. He shot 10 of 12, folks. We know he doesn't like the jumpers, he doesn't like the threes, so he gets into the paint, and that's what he does. So very well done to all the starters except Danny Green. Get this man off the team. I've seen enough. Get Danny Green off the team. I'm sick of this man weighing down teams he's on. Couldn't step up for the Lakers. Not stepping up here for the 76ers. It's Danny Green, folks. That's all it is. He's not good, and it's super frustrating. He's a decent defender. I'll give him that. Can't hit the threes consistently. Alrighty, now we go to the Blazers now. Did we already do the Blazers? Yeah, we already. I felt like we already did the Blazers. All right, so that was the NBA from last night. Let's see what's on tap today. Any great games on? There should be primetime games. It is Friday. Yes, we do got 2 games. All right, a lot of games on tonight, so we got a lot to pick from in our moneymaker, which is always great. A lot of options, a lot of value potentially to be found. We will find it. All righty, we got Timberwolves and the Hornets. Karl Anthony Towns is back, so we probably stay away from this game. Knicks Wizards, probably stay away from it. Knicks should win, but it's the Wizards. Maybe they pull it out. Probably not, though. Spurs, Hawks, all right. Good test for this Hawks team to kind of get back on track here. Good defense by the Spurs. We'll see how the Hawks are able to handle it. Pelicans and the Mavericks, all right. Rising, kind of streaking Mavericks. I think they're on a kind of a mini win streak here. 2, 3, 4 games. Do I dare say 4 games for the Mavericks? What are they at? 3. Yeah, I didn't think it was quite 4 yet. But still, I mean, a decent opponent here in the Pelicans. This should be a good game. Probably won't get any great value. The line will probably be like 1 or 2, so no great value there, most likely. Clippers, Bulls. Clippers should have no trouble. We probably will swallow these points by the Clippers. Pistons, Celtics. Celtics should win it. I mean, they just beat the Raptors. The Pistons are worse than the Raptors. Nuggets, Thunder. Nuggets should start getting back on track. They had a little bit of a rough last week, so let's see if they can get back on track here. Bucks, Jazz. That one should be very good. Is this a back-to-back? Was this a back-to-back? Did the Jazz just play the Bucks? Who just played the Bucks? Let me look at this. What do we got the Bucks at? No, they did not play the Jazz. All right. They placed the Nuggets. That's what I was thinking of. All right. Grizzlies, Lakers. This is our game on television tonight, the 10 o'clock game. I forgot to now see a 7:30 game, so we'll go back there. But at 10 o'clock, it's Grizzlies and the Lakers on ESPN. And then at 7:30, it's Pelicans and the Mavericks. So that's definitely a good one to watch. Definitely 2 great teams, 2 rising teams. We'll see who gets the better of the other. And then the last 2 games, Blazers, Cavs. The Blazers on a back-to-back. Let's see if they can kind of keep up their performance from last night. And then the Kings and the Magic. And Kings, we know, we might be taking the Kings tonight, folks. We may be taking the Kings tonight. They are streaking good. Alrighty, let's get these lines updated. See if we see any great value here. Let's get this money maker back on track and chugging along for the rest of the season. No more losing days in our money maker. We're putting our foot down. We're getting the best value. Alrighty, so here we go. Wizards and Knicks minus 2.5. We probably should take that, right? Like, that should happen. Let's come back to it. I don't know if I want to bet on the Knicks just quite yet. Derrick Rose's first performance was very good and definitely signs of what is to come. But let's see kind of how, let's give them 2, 3, 4 games maybe before we start buying into the Knicks heavy. But we'll come back to that. It's not bad value there. Knicks minus 2.5. Alrighty, Timberwolves and the Hornets minus 3.5. I just don't know if Cody Zeller is going to be able to handle Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns had a good first game, and we expect him to get better every single game that he's back there. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to sit this game out just to kind of judge what this Timberwolves team is now doing now that Karl Anthony Towns is kind of decently acclimated back into the starting lineup. One game, we give everybody that one first game. Usually the second game, everything, gels very nicely. Pelicans Mavericks on ESPN, and it's Pelicans +3. That's not bad value either. Steven Adams should be able to handle Porzingis down low. Zion should be able to help with that beef down low as well. Mavericks, they are kind of trending up. So are the Pelicans decently. We may take this game just because it's on television, and I think you get decent value here with the Pelicans +3. These two teams are very, very similar. They've got great potential on the rosters, but they don't show it every single night. Where the Mavericks they have one great superstar, then you really just have to rely on everybody else. Same thing with the Pelicans. You really have to rely on Zion, but I trust Brandon Ingram a lot more than anybody else on the Mavericks. I trust Steven Adams a lot on this Mavericks team, or on this Pelicans team, and Lonzo Ball is having decent success here in these last 3 or 4 games. So I think we're gonna go with the Pelicans here. The Mavericks, all they have is Doncic, and I think Porzingis can get locked up down low. So we'll take the 3 here by the Pelicans. Should be a close game, and we'll rock with the points here. First decent value of the night, I believe. Spurs, Hawks -2. Like I said, I mean, I just need this Hawks team to get a little bit deeper. In the Spurs team, they're so hit and miss. I honestly don't like to bet any games that the Spurs are playing because you get no judgment on this team. It's literally one game is good, one game is bad for no reason. It's kind of crazy. Spurs are the one team that I just can't judge. I can't get a sense of. So unfortunately, we are going to stay away from this team, this game, this spread, this matchup. Clippers, Bulls, and Clippers -7, and I think we're going to take it, folks. We do have to swallow some points at sometimes, and I think this is fine. Zach LaVine and Kobe White had their big breakout game. All right, they can go back to floundering, where at least Kobe White can. Zach LaVine will probably still get 30 because nobody else can score on that team. Let me quickly look up here. I will give NBA Fantasy Labs one more chance here before I go back to Score Mobile on my phone. What else do we get? Oh, look at this. Tyler Hero has cleared health and safety protocols. Absolutely fantastic. I think he only missed like one game on there. So that's great there. Robert Williams is out today. He was out last game, so I'm not worried about that. Kemba Walker is out today. Fantastic. So, the Celtics get a little bit worse. So they play tonight. I don't know. Who do they play? Do we miss that? Who did I say? Oh, they face the Pistons, so definitely got to stay away from that game. No great value either way. All right, let's go back to this Twitter account. So no Kemba Walker, no Robert Williams for the Celtics. D'Angelo Russell out at least 2 more games. Unfortunate here. Got to see D'Lo and Cat back together again. Ennis Cantor, and now we're to tomorrow's information. So we don't have any information on the Clippers. I'm assuming that means that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard will play. Let me just double check that. I'll have to start bringing up the Score Mobile site. Hopefully they got a good website. I don't know what their actual website is. I do use their app, though. I definitely highly recommend it. They are kind of usually pretty decent on the who's out and who's probable and questionable and all that. So they're usually pretty good about that. I was just trying to shout out that NBA Fantasy Labs Twitter, but unfortunate. Paul George is out. So unfortunately, I think we may have to stay away from this Bulls game. Who do we get out for the Bulls? Otto Porter, Lauri Markkanen, still out. So the usual suspects still out for the Bulls. Do we still ride with it? No Paul George? I think we still ride with it. -7. That's probably why it's -7 and not like -10.5, honestly. Alrighty, Clippers -7. We don't like doing this when Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are out, but we're going to bite the bullet here. Clippers -7. We may be able to get some better value in some of these other games, and we can come back and take the Clippers out. But, everybody else was kind of stepping it up last time Paul George was out, so we'll rock with it. Bulls, they had their one good game. I'm sure they get brought back down to earth this game. Pistons, Celtics, and Celtics -8. No way. Even without Kemba Walker, that just means they're not deep on the bench anymore. So Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum will even have to step up even more now. Brad Stevens, his lineup rotation can't even last one day because they need Kemba Walker in that starting lineup too. So unfortunate, we're definitely not swallowing 8 points there. Bucks, Jazz -2.5 against the Bucks. Oh boy. I really wish this was the game on national TV today. This is the best game. I think that's going to be on 2 elite teams here. Jazz -2.5. Rudy Gobert should be able to handle Giannis. The 3-point barrage by the Jazz should be good. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody out on this Jazz team because we may be swallowing some points here. Mike Conley is out. All right, a decent out by the Jazz, but Donovan Mitchell should be able to kind of, keep up pace with that, and Joe Ingles should be able to step it up in the starting lineup. So Jazz minus 2.5. We're going to take an important game here. Tough game, but Bucks on the road. Something does not go right. Either they can't eat down low or the threes don't fall. It's something. Or Giannis doesn't hit the free throws. It's something. It's honestly something. So Jazz minus 2.5 we're going to take. Thunder, Nuggets minus 12, and I do like it. The Nuggets are good, but I'm not going to swallow 12 points, especially when we got decent value either on some other games here. Lakers, Grizzlies, Lakers minus 6.5. I do not believe Anthony Davis is playing in this game. I double check this. Game time decision, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I feel like one of those two players will not be playing. Grizzlies, they are kind of emerging here. We'll see how this is kind of a true test. They just had a nice win earlier in this week. I'm blanking on who, but it was a good win. I want to say it was like the Hawks. Might have been the Hawks, so that's a solid win there. And now against this Lakers team. So we'll just watch this game, collect information on this game to help us with our bets down the line. So we stay away from Lakers, Grizzlies, Cavs, Blazers. Blazers minus 3.5 over the Cavs. Blazers coming off of a huge win, so we are going to kind of stay away from them this game. We'll see if anybody's out here in a back-to-back here. I'm sure somebody's taking the night off here. Load management is killing this game. Nobody. All right. So maybe load management isn't killing this game, but it still is. It still is. Blazers minus 3.5 is decent here. Cavs haven't really stepped up in a huge while, so Blazers minus 3 should be good. I think we're going to rock with it. I know it's in a back-to-back, and this one probably will kill us, but, of what we're seeing by this team, we got to give them praise, especially with what's going on in our power rankings. We're going to take the risk here. Blazers minus 3.5, and then the last game of the night, Kings and the Magic, and Kings minus 8.5, so Vegas is valuing the Kings very high like we do. So we stay away from it. So a nice little 4-teamer here, an extra boosted moneymaker here. Usually we hover around 2 to 3, but we're at 4 this game today, folks. A big old Friday. Make your money today. Didn't y'all get paid today? Come on, Friday. Y'all get paid on Friday. When y'all get paid? Well, whenever you get paid, bet your entire paycheck on our moneymaker here. Pelicans plus 3, Clippers minus 7, Jazz minus 2.5, Blazers minus 3.5, plus 1,224. So if you bet $100, you win $1,224. That's pretty gosh darn great, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, you've got a paycheck coming. Take $100, put it on this moneymaker. Feeling real good about this. Pelicans plus 3, Clippers minus 7, Jazz minus 2.5, and Blazers minus 3.5. Alrighty, let's go to our main topic of the day, which is our NBA power rankings. We update this list every Friday. We give these teams a week to breathe. Let's see what y'all did in this last week, and we move you around accordingly. So we do have a new number 1. We do have 2 new teams in the top 10, and we do have a lot of kind of rearrangement. This was the power rankings coming into this week. At 10, we had the Blazers, 9 Bucks, 8 Hornets, 7 Rockets, 6 Nuggets, Kings, 5 Nets, 4 Jazz, 3 Lakers, 2, and 76ers, 1. Now, in the middle of the week, we had an impromptu NBA power ranking adjustment, a small adjustment. We had the Clippers at 5, but when the Kings beat the Clippers, we instantly swapped them. We didn't even move anybody. We didn't put the Kings at 10 and move everybody down a spot. We just instantly swapped Clippers and Kings at 5. So Clippers are currently no longer in the top 10, and the Kings are at number 5 because of that reason. Alrighty, so let's go through top down 10 to 1. Tell y'all what they did in the last week. Tell you what we're doing in the movement. Alright, do we have to preface anything? Should we tell you who we're getting kicked out? We'll do it when it goes. Alrighty, let's go with the 2 teams that are being kicked out. Is it 2 or is it more? Definitely the first team that we had to kick out, unfortunately, was the Hornets. Unfortunate. A little bit of a rough week here. 2-2. They beat the Wizards and the Rockets. Solid wins there. Decent wins. Rockets is a decent win. I think either Victor Oladipo or John Wall didn't play that game. Something like that. Wizards obviously not a great win. And then the losses were against the Jazz and the Grizzlies. Actually kind of good teams that they lost against. So just unfortunate about the Hornets. They just need a better big. I really think that's their only problem. So we do have to knock off the Hornets. Truly unfortunate because I do kind of like LaMelo Ball and what he's able to kind of do for this team. So unfortunate the Hornets are getting knocked out of the top 10. Another team getting knocked out of the top 10, unfortunately, is the Rockets. We need Christian Wood in the starting lineup now, and until he gets back there, I really don't see this Rockets team winning a lot of games. I mean, folks, they went 0-4 this week. Lost to the Heat, lost to the Spurs, lost to the Hornets, lost to the Pelicans. I mean, come on. They should not be losing, 4 in a row like this, especially with Victor Oladipo and John Wall. Those two alone should be able to make it work, but now we got load management, and one plays and the other doesn't, and then the other plays and the other doesn't. Load management, like I said, is killing this game, folks. Yes, it's a long season. Yes, there's a lot of games to be played, but that doesn't mean that you can take off games early on in the season, kind of like what the Nets are doing. I know it's not, all their fault, like Kevin Durant and the health and safety protocols, but even before that, it'd be like 2 playing. Kyrie Irving takes the night off. James Harden takes the night off. You really can't do that, especially when you have to kind of get into a rhythm. It takes time to build that rhythm, to get the starting lineups right, to get the bench rotations right. It takes the time. So you can't be taking games off, and I truly don't like it, honestly. So Hornets and Rockets are out of the top 10. Unfortunate, truly unfortunate by those two teams. We're big on those teams. We're big on some players on those teams, but we got to make way. And the Clippers are also not going to be mentioned in the top 10. We're not putting them back in the top 10 here. Not a great week by them as well. 1-2 the last week since last Friday. They beat the Timberwolves. Congratulations. They beat the Timberwolves with Karl Anthony Towns' first game back and no D'Lo. Congrats. But then they lost to the Celtics and the Kings, and those are two decent teams here. Once again, kind of the Clippers are kind of like with the load management as well. Paul George is out. Kawhi Leonard's out. They barely play together. Now, some injuries in there as well. I get it. But at the end of the day, you have to be playing, getting that rotation, getting that chemistry with your entire team, your lineup, your starters, your bench. You have to get that all figured out before we get into the playoffs. And so far, Rockets aren't doing that. Nets aren't doing that. Clippers aren't doing that. And Hornets we took out just because they don't have a greater team. They don't have a great team overall. Alrighty here, so now we can go. All right, now we can go on this. All right, here we go. Starting from 10, going all the way down to number 1. Our new number 10 team is going to be, yes sir, the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler is back, folks. And they are better, or they're kind of back at where they left off in the bubble. As long as Jimmy Butler is in the starting lineup, expect them to win. In the last week, they have won 4 games. They've beaten the Wizards, the Knicks twice, and we just saw the Rockets last night. So great performances here. Everybody's really stepping it up. And, still Goran Dragic is not even in the starting lineup. Once he gets there, this team is going to lift off even more. They're deep. People can hit the 3. Kelly Olynyk's in the starting lineup, and they're still winning. Usually he's a good bench player. Tyler Hero has been missing a couple of games here. Kendrick Nunn is missing a couple games in the starting lineup. So just with all the chaos, all the rotations, all the adjustments that they have to make, they still find out ways to win when Jimmy Butler is in the starting lineup. He's now in the starting lineup. We can start buying the C team a little bit more. Shout out to Eric Spoelstra. On a nightly basis, he has to come up with a new starting rotation. It seems like every single game. So shout out to him. And the Heat are still playing absolutely fantastic defense for the entire game. That's something that we don't talk enough about here. This Heat defense is absolutely magnificent. They all buy in. They all play defense. They all hit the 3. They all give it their all because they know Jimmy Butler does not take no shit, and he definitely doesn't take any plays off, and he doesn't let any of his teammates take any plays off, and all the teammates buy in. So we love this Heat team. They've got the 3-point shooters. They got the big in Bam Adebayo. They got the leader in Jimmy Butler. They got the depth in Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson and Andre Iguodala still and Tyler Hero and Goran Dragic. So they're still very deep. Once everybody's healthy, once they're all not injured anymore, they're deep, folks. They are truly very deep. So Heat at number 10. Now, this is a huge week for them because they just started a huge road trip last night, 7-game road trip, just started with a win. So that's absolutely wonderful for them. But this is going to be a tough week. This is why we put them at 10. This is going to show us what they're actually made of here in this kind of next week when they go on this long road trip. So we're putting the Heat at 10. Very well done. Getting back on track now that Jimmy Butler is in the starting lineup, and we are making note of that, and we praise them, and we endorse them, and they are the green light now, and we put them at number 10. Alrighty, new number 9 team is going to be the Blazers. Once again, kind of winning without all their main pieces. No CJ McCollum for the last 2 weeks. No Nurkic, I think, for the entire season. But in the last week, the Blazers, they went 2-1, 2 wins, 1 loss. They've beaten the Magic and the 76ers last night. They did lose to the Knicks, unfortunately. We are going to kind of overlook that loss a tad because Damian Lillard is being very consistent, being very clutch. Gary Trent Jr. is really stepping it up a lot. Ennis Cantor is getting it done as the big. Derrick Jones Jr., as we said, we are big fans of him. He does need to kind of solidify his game a little bit more, but he is having decent success here as a starter now that Nurkic and McCollum are now out. So once again, kind of like when the Heat, kind of like what we said about the Heat, the Blazers, once they get at full strength, they're going to be even deeper than they already are. They're going to be better than they already are. But big things to note, Damian Lillard is just freaking clutch. He will put up 30 every game and not bitch about it and have great completion percentage while doing so and getting others involved. Carmelo Anthony off the bench is absolutely wonderful. 24 points we just saw last night. Fantastic. This man is pretty consistent and pretty clutch for this Blazers team. Whenever they need the 3, fourth quarter, first quarter, it doesn't matter. He will get him the bucket, and they still got Ennis Cantor as a big without Nurkic. So they just beat the 76ers. Very well done. They were currently the number 1 seed going into this week. So we do have to elevate the Blazers a little bit. Winning without all of your star players, that's a huge green flag. And once you get your team back at full strength, you better watch out. This Blazers team is going to try and repeat like what they did last year in the bubble. When they get to the second round of the playoffs, it can pretty competitively. So very well done. Blazers at number 9, moving up a spot here. Alrighty, new number 8 team, and it's going to be the Nuggets. We do have to drop them back a little bit. We dropped them back from 6 to 8 here. Let's get their name written down. Alrighty, in the last week, the Nuggets went 1-2. Unfortunately, they beat the Cavs, not a great win there, and they lost to the Kings and the Bucks. 2 good teams. Kings are emerging, and the Bucks are obviously the Bucks. So not great there by the Nuggets. I just cannot trust Jamal Murray that much. Jokic is fine. Michael Porter Jr. is fine. Literally everybody else is fine, but Jamal Murray, he's not consistent. He's not even close to the consistency of Donovan Mitchell or Damian Lillard or Jimmy Butler. I know they don't play the same position, or Steph Curry or anything like that. So really the biggest red flag that we have on this Nuggets team is the point guard, which is not a great sign. Jamal Murray, yes, he shows greatness every once in a while. I'm not doubting that. The man can be fantastic. Nobody's doubting that. But the consistency wise, we need to start to see him step it up a little bit more. So they still have an overall great team. I mean, Jokic is almost unstoppable, folks. He's almost unstoppable. That's why they lost against the Bucks, because he was kind of a little bit unstoppable. So Nuggets drop back a little bit. We'll take it. We'll see what happens this week. I don't want to drop them out of the top 10 because of Jokic and Michael Porter Jr., because they still got great pieces, and Jamal Murray, like we said, can still show great spurts. But just the consistency aspect, we do have to drop them down a little bit. 1 of 2 this last week, not the greatest. Maybe they can rebound this week and we can move them up again a little bit. But Nuggets at number 8, they're still deep. They are still deep. They're still good. They're still a good team, folks. But we do have to drop them down a little bit because of Murray's kind of lackluster performance a little bit. Alrighty, number 7 is a new number 7 team, and we do have to move this team down a little bit. The Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, are new number 7 team. In the last week, they beat the Pacers. Not a great win. It's a decent win, not a great win. And they lost against the Pistons, the Raptors, and the 76ers. You cannot be losing against all those teams. I will say that. The whole lineup without Kevin Durant, I get that for the last week, but they still are losing. There's no reason why they should be losing without Kevin Durant. I mean, you still have Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Joe Harris, who is not as obviously as good as Kevin Durant, but can still kind of score his output. He can put up the 22 points. He can put up the 25 points if needed to on a game-to-game basis, Joe Harris. So there's no reason why the Nets should be losing games without one of the big three out, folks. Two of the big three should still be able to get it done, and they're not because of the leadership. And we just saw the complete meltdown by Steve Nash saying, hey, I'm just letting the team do whatever. The team determines the team, which is the lamest thing ever. Kyrie Irving says, I'm a warrior, but kind of once we win, we'll be good, but we got to win first. And that is true. And that speaks to a lot of things, and like sports and soccer and hockey, once you get the first goal, you're good to go for the game. It's just kind of breaking the ice. Same thing with basketball. I mean, getting a win with this rotation, just that one win. We can do it now. This is how we do it. All right, now they can start piling on, opening up the floodgates. So Nets at number 7, not going to take them out of the top 10 just quite yet. Because, I mean, they're still fantastic. They still got all the pieces, but we need to start seeing them win games consistently. I need to start to see them kind of go like 4-0, 3-0 in a week, honestly. Kevin Durant should be coming back today. I think that was the plans. They don't play today, so tomorrow, is that their next game? When's their next game? Next game for the Nets. What do we got here? What's Saturday? Saturday, Nets Warriors. Kevin Durant should be good to go. Primetime game on ABC. Kevin Durant should be good to go for that game. So Nets next Friday when we update our power rankings, we could potentially move them up again. But we got to start seeing the big three play together and win together. So Nets drop back a little bit here at number 7. Alrighty, new number 6 team. This team moved up, so very well done. And we put the Bucks at number 6. In the last week, they have beaten the Cavs twice and the Nuggets and lost to the Suns closely, just Giannis not being clutch. So we moved the Bucks up a little bit. The three-point shooting has been a little bit more consistent this week, which is good. They've gotten 3 wins, very good. They beaten the Nuggets. That was a huge, great win by them. Able to kind of beat Jokic and kind of, not really lock him up, but, not let him go monster beast mode on you. So very well done to the Bucks. Giannis is still solid. Chris Middleton's still very solid. Dante DiVincenzo's all right. Brook Lopez is obviously good. Just like we said, the three-point shooting has been good this week. The down-low play has been good this week, so we moved them up a little bit because of that. Bucks at number 6. I don't know what it would take for them to kind of crack the top 5, honestly. I would need a straight-up great week not losing at all, threes consistently throughout, and beating, some of the elite teams. So until they start kind of beating the elite teams consistently, I mean, you beat the Nuggets, which is good, but then you lost to the Suns, close. Giannis not being that clutch factor, draining that mid-range jumper against the Suns. So they still have their flaws. Those are, sometimes the three-point shot just isn't there, and when that happens, they don't win. Giannis, if he gets locked up down low, that's not going to happen. Giannis's jump shots is absolutely atrocious, and he has kind of fixed the free throws these last couple weeks, so we do give him credit there, but that is still something that can creep up that we do have to keep an eye on. So Bucks at number 6, moving up a little bit, taking them slow. Alrighty, number 5 is a new team, and is this the last new team? The Heat were the first new team, and the second new team, the last new team in the top 10 is going to be the Suns. What an incredible week the Suns have had. What do I got here? Where are they at? Where are my notes on the Suns? Right here, they beat the Pistons, the Cavs, the Bucks, and the Celtics all this week. No losses, 4 wins. Very well done. They jump all the way from out of the top 10 to number 5. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, they are getting it done, folks. Absolutely. Frank Kaminsky in the starting lineup, folks. He's only been in the starting lineup for 4 games. I think it's when he started their 4-game win streak. So this man in the starting lineup is absolutely getting it done. McCall Bridges, once again, getting it done as well. Their bench isn't the greatest. I don't know if they can move up any higher than 5, honestly. They do need that kind of great bench score. I guess they have Cameron Payne, or Cameron Johnson, one of those two. A Cameron, nonetheless. And he hasn't really been stepping it up on the bench, but That's probably their one weakness is the bench, but Devin Booker and Chris Paul are just consistently putting up like 20-plus points, 25-plus points a game, really getting it done, and DeAndre Ayton is a force to be reckoned with down low. And like I said, the addition of Frank Kaminsky in the starting lineup is making a huge, huge difference, folks. He's only started 4 games. They got 4 wins this week. Coincidence? No, sir. No, sir. So Suns at number 5 making a huge, huge leap. Got to pay them some respect here. They were in the top 10, I believe, last week. I think we moved them out. But a great week this week to rebound. They're back in it. Alrighty, new number 4 team. We moved this team up a little bit. One spot, the Kings. Oh, my goodness. I mean, just kind of a great week as well by the Kings. What do I got here? Where are they at? All right, there are 2 wins and 1 loss. They beat the Nuggets and the Clippers, really great wins, and they lost against the 76ers, but they were competitive. I think they only lost by like 7 points. So competitive and beating the best teams in the league, that's all I ask for, folks. I need you to be competitive, and once you're competitive, now I need you to start winning the games. And the Kings, they skipped the competitive phase and just started winning games like that. So absolutely fantastic by the Kings. They've got some real great young players. Obviously, we know De'Aaron Fox is really carrying the load. What else do we get here? Raquan Holmes is doing all right. Marvin Bagley is doing all right, but Buddy Hield is really kind of impressing me super, super much. He's kind of taking that next step that, I praised Trae Young for taking. Buddy Hield is really taking that next step and is fitting into kind of this second guard role for this Kings team, and I'm all about it. They're very well. They're playing very, very well here. I think they're 12-12 currently. Where are they in the standings? Where are the Kings at? Right here. Kings are they're currently number 12 or number 10. Gosh darn. But they got some fantastic plays. They're beating the better teams. They're catching their stride, and they're going to make a push for the playoffs here. They are currently, 1 game back. I just like the way that they're playing with a great week here. We put them into the top 10 because they beat the Clippers, and, they're just playing well, folks. They're just playing well, and you would not expect this team to play well, and we're praising this team and giving them a little bit of a shout out here at number 4. Alrighty, new number 3 team is going to be, what do we get here? Number 3 is going to be, this is where, we're jumbling up the top 3 a little bit. The new number 3 team is unfortunately the Philadelphia 76ers, so they officially lose their number 1 seed. In the last week, they've beaten the Nets and the Kings, very good wins there. Losing to the Blazers, I'm not putting too much weight into it, too much stock, but it is kind of a little disappointing that, everybody steps up besides Danny Green, and we know that, but, they are a little bit of a liability with Danny Green in the starting lineup. It is unfortunate. It is really starting to come out that Danny Green's not pulling his weight. Literally everybody else is great. Tobias Harris is great. Joel Embiid is the MVP. Ben Simmons is fantastic. Seth Curry's the 4th. Seth Curry he's having great success. Now definitely can he step it up. The 2 worst players on their starting lineup are Danny Green by far, and then the second worst player is Seth Curry, but he's still good. Like, he's still getting you at least 15 a game, which is what you need. So he's still getting it done. Ben Simmons is a great defender. I still love everything about this 76ers team. They are decently deep, too. Dwight Howard coming off the bench, which is pretty good there. I think I'm forgetting another bench piece. 76ers bench. Dwight Howard. What else do we get? Should we look it up really quickly if we can't find it? They just played. We should have just looked them up. What do we got here? Here we go. What else do we get on their bench? Nobody really showed up. Martise Thybulle. Very well done. He's usually getting it done, and same thing with Korkmaz. So they are still decently deep. It's just Danny Green is not stepping it up, and it is really starting to get under my skin a little bit, just because this is a great team. This can be a fantastic team defensively, offensively, everything about it. Like I said, they've got the great scorers, and Danny Green, well, it should be Danny Green, Seth Curry, Tobias Harris. They got the great beef down low, Joel Embiid, who can hit the 3 and stretch to the floor, and then they got just a pure lockdown defender and passer in Ben Simmons. They really have a complete team. Offense, defense, everything. So a little unfortunate here. We're going to knock them down a little bit just because these other 2 teams have had a little bit of a better week and a little bit more consistency with their bench and their other star players. So unfortunate for the 76ers. They had a nice 2-week run at number 1. We do have to knock them off, though. Alrighty, number 2 is staying the same. Lakers, a great week by them. They played 3 games. Pistons and the Thunder twice this week. No Anthony Davis for one of those Thunder games, and LeBron James is still able to kind of get the win. Kyle Kuzma steps it up. Dennis Schroeder steps it up. Montrezl Harrell really has been impressing me this last week, absolutely. So Lakers at number 2, staying at number 2. Can't put them at quite number 1 quite yet. Got to see Anthony Davis kind of be a little bit more consistent. He's still fine, but need to see him be playing a little bit more consistent, and his play on the floor when he is playing be a little bit more consistent as well. So, Lakers, a great week, 3-0, getting it done without Anthony Davis, everybody stepping up. We can keep the Lakers at number 2. And then our new number 1 team is going to be the Utah Jazz, baby. They are back, folks. A great week, 3-0. They beat the Hornets, Pacers, and Celtics, all decent wins there. Donovan Mitchell has been absolutely consistent. Rudy Gobert has been consistent. The 6th man of the year has been consistent. Jordan, Mother, Love, and Clarkson, folks. Bogdanovich has been fantastic. Royce O'Neal's been a solid 4 for this team as well. Just great defense, solid contributions in the points, rebounds, and assists. So this is a complete team. They're one of probably the deepest teams that there is in the league. Really, really great play here by the Jazz, and really just Donovan Mitchell really just impressing me so much. We love him so much more than Jamal Murray, because we compare the Jazz and the Nuggets. I mean, they're basically the same team, honestly, but the Jazz are just more better at the point guard position than the Nuggets are consistency overall. So we are upgrading the Jazz. Great win against the Celtics, Pacers, and Hornets this week. Great consistency. Rudy Gobert still being great. Donovan Mitchell being great. Jordan Clarkson. Really just a great squad. Really, like I said, the deepest squad that there is in the NBA. And, they're getting back on track. I think they got 5 losses? 20-5, folks. They are number 1 in the West. Absolutely magnificent. 20-5. I cannot believe it. Very well done to this Jazz team. Deep, great starters, great consistency from their starters, and we reward them with the number 1, because we know the 76ers aren't that consistent in their starting lineup, a la Danny Green. Danny Green, you're holding the team back. Can you get it together, please? Alrighty, so this is the new power rankings going into next week. Heat at 10, Blazers at 9, Nuggets at 8, Nets at 7, Bucks at 6, Kings at 5. Suns at 5, Kings at 4, 76ers at 3, Lakers at 2, and Jazz at 1. Let me quickly go over who is outside looking in very quickly, who can try and make a run in the top 10 coming into this week. Celtics may be able to, if they keep up that rotation of Olajay at the 4. That could definitely work. We'll keep an eye on the Celtics moving forward. Pacers, I don't see them really outside looking in. They have not been consistent against the better teams in this league. Raptors potentially may be able to get back into the top 10. Definitely need to start seeing them beat the better teams consistently as well. Clippers, obviously outside looking in, they would probably be number 11, folks. But just this, they have had a tough week, so we are going to leave them out. What else we get here? Spurs, potentially. I just can't figure them out. I just cannot figure them out, honestly. Warriors could definitely possibly be, maybe. They would have to probably go undefeated this week, and the Heat have to blow it somehow. But I would probably say Clippers are number 11. Clippers 11, Celtics 12. That's kind of what we're looking at here. Clippers 11, Celtics 12. Raptors 13, Hornets 13, Spurs 13, however y'all want to decide. Warriors 13. Yeah. Alrighty. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking at in our power rankings. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We're back tomorrow breaking down the NBA, folks. Not sure what we're going to do for another segment on Saturday, but we'll figure it out. Officially transitioning over to heavy NBA, so got to figure out some segments, got to figure out all that, but so far it's going well. So back tomorrow, talking NBA, talking sports, talking stories. Y'all know how we do here. Alrighty, folks, we're out of here. We are back tomorrow, noon Eastern, live, twitch.tv/takes by fans, baby. Y'all better learn this name, Takes by Fans, because it's about to be global. It's about to be global in a couple of years. About to get on the ground floor. All right.